Good evening, it's December the 3rd, it's Saturday night, and this is my show live on YouTube.com with over 185 subscribers, and thank you to anyone who has subscribed to the channel, and if you subscribed in the last 24 hours, then thank you very much. I've not done anything to impress you yet, so thank you for tuning in. And when we announced this yesterday, it was very last minute because I didn't know I was going to be live tonight. But when I was speaking with my guest yesterday, he mentioned if it was too late or not to have him on the show. So let's welcome on to the show.
All right. What are you doing?
To the show right now, live on youtube.com/Edward Fowler. Please welcome Rodney Mack.
How are you, Edward? Thanks for having me, my friend.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you for accepting to be on the show today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
know it was a last minute deal, but we're here.
Yes, we are here. I've been pestering you and bugging you for the past few weeks to get you on the show. We almost did it, I think, maybe last week or the week before, and unfortunately we couldn't do it. But then he told me yesterday that is it too late? I said, no, it's never too late. So thank you for your time this afternoon. I know you are currently outside in the I guess in the hot weather in Texas before a show.
Yes, actually we got a little lucky. It's a little cooler day here on you. But yes.
And I must mention as well before we go any further that apologies to all the US fans who enjoy the football today. You all got beat by the Netherlands. So we'll see you in 4 years' time to see if you can get into the World Cup in 4 years. But thank you for coming, however, and good try, but you couldn't beat the Netherlands. However, moving on from that, where everyone will hate me for that comment, but apart from that, it's good to see you. And you've been very busy. You know, you're everywhere at the moment. And as you know, as you saw there, he's also on the NWA. He's also appearing in many different states as well, from Texas to Tennessee to God knows where. He's everywhere, and this is good to see. By the way, you're still very active in 2022 into 2023. Hope that continues as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'm very blessed to still be active and in good health. I'm physically and mentally, I feel as great as I have seriously in the last 15 or 20 years.
Good. Well, I'm glad that things are going well and you're staying healthy and staying fit, because I know you are very active in the gym and always getting your gym time. And how many times a day do you get to the gym?
Currently, now 2 and sometimes 3, but right now it's steady two times a day.
So do you
I go at 5 a.m. till about 10, and then I come back later and do a cardio session for about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Wow. So that's quite early in the morning, to get out of bed first thing and go straight to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning to spend 5 hours in the gym, 5 till 10 o'clock. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So what sort of things you do in those 5 hours then when you get to the gym?
A lot of strength training early in the morning, and the reason it takes so long is in between sets I take about 3 minutes break in between each set, so therefore each set is done to my fullest potential. So that's something new. Normally I get in there and do a set, and then within about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, I was doing another one. But I feel like this helps me out tremendously, and I've gotten a lot better gains from doing this approach.
That's good. I hope it continues for you. And do you? I'm guessing you have breaks in this 5 hours. I can't see you just doing 5 hours of continuous gym time without any breaks.
No, sir. The only break is in between sets. I got a jug of water and I constantly drink, but I don't have I don't take a break in between.
Gotcha. And when you go in the evenings, I guess you go sometime in the evening, I guess as well. Do you go with any of your students as well, or just yourself?
From time to time, some of the I'm blessed to where this is what I do, this as my career and my job, so I can dedicate my whole day to training, or at least the majority, and then the rest, the time is dropping my kids, picking my kids up from school. But other than that, I also have a wrestling school, the Dog Pound Dojo, and that starts at 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock. But throughout the day, I dedicate myself to working out, training, and of course, in between that is meal prepping and trying to eat properly and doing those things. But if occasionally I have some students who's off, I can drag them in every now and then at 5 a.m. But for right now, for the most part, I'm pretty much by myself, solo.
Fair. That's fair. And when you do, as you mentioned, grab some of your students in at 5 a.m. in the morning, which I bet they're not very happy about, by the way, when you drag them in at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Especially the second or third day afterwards, most of the time.
Who are some of the ones you've dragged on with yourself?
I have a kid named Soda Pop Hendricks who comes with me pretty regularly. And also this kid is like my top student, and he's only been training with me for about a year and a half, training and wrestling combined, and he's had opportunities and has been seen on the NWA, and I think he's had tryouts or has done dark matches or gonna do dark matches with AEW, and he also there's talks about him going to the UK to wrestle for Paige and her family.
Nice.
As well.
Nice. Well, hopefully he gets the opportunity to do that and come over here and experience what a real crowd is like, by the way. Hopefully he gets to do all that and make some amazing moments and meet some amazing people which he would cherish for life and get to come over more than once as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I also have a couple of other students. One is going to be a manager by the name of Grim Rotsberg, and another guy who goes by,
No worries.
Midnight Special. He's been working for wrestling for us. He's been in the business for about 13 years.
Okay.
But found him when I was booking for a company along with Teddy Long.
Holla holla.
And Jazz. Yeah, holla holla. And Teddy took a lot of interest. I found the kid at we were doing a wrestling clinic, and I saw that he had a lot of charisma and personality. So I pointed him out to Teddy Long and Jazz, and Teddy took a liking to him and was using him a lot in a company that's no longer running, but it was called SWE.
Oh yes.
And yes, and it had made a pretty good impact.
It did. I enjoy the content from SWE. I enjoy watching it every week, and loving to see what you and all these other great phenomenal talent we're going to do next. So it was always must see TV.
Right. So yeah, Teddy took a liking to the guy, and he was living in Arkansas at the time, and so I got with him and started training him. So he moved from Arkansas to here to San Antonio, and it's been about close to a year now that he's been training with us. And matter of fact, now he holds one of our belts, the Southwest Texas champ.
Nice.
So yeah, he's doing pretty well.
That's good. See, taking good leadership and good knowledge from a great veteran, as I would say, from Rodney Mack and holla holla Teddy Long, and of course your lovely wife Jazz.
Yes.
I've always wanted to say that on this show, so I get to say that 3 times now. So I try and not do it again before I get copyrighted by Teddy Long. But yeah, great people, great minds, and between you 3, you must have about 160 years, something like that, of experience. I guess.
Yes, 25 apiece for Jazz and myself, and Teddy's got that alone. At least probably 60 years in the business itself.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot of history, a lot of experience there, and you got good people as well. Good people around you. So, and I know with your actual company, it's yourself and Jazz Zone. I know you've been promoting it recently on the Facebook pages and the social media pages of it about, saying come and train with us. If you're interested in becoming part of the business, come and train with us. And I will say that you guys are one of the best people around to bring in the next generation of the next stars of Texas and beyond.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. And you mentioned about good people, and honestly, that's like the number one golden rule we have about having good people around us. We don't tolerate the hard heads and the knuckleheads, and it doesn't matter how talented they are. It just we just don't affiliate ourselves with. Well, let's just call them bad people.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Number one rule in at Dog Pound Dojo, and it's like I tell them all that I never got in this business to make friends, but along the way, the people that are on the same page with you and have the same wants in this business, you become family with. So, and that's what it is at Dog Pound Dojo. We're one big family.
Absolutely.
The dog, we're one big pack. And they understood that we all must hunt in order to eat.
Uh-huh.
If you don't, you don't eat.
No, you pray. You pray on your talents. You pray on your opponents, your victims, to bring the impact of Dog Pound Wrestling to life, to show that these students are going to be some of the best in the area. Because again, Dog Pound, is run by yourself and of course Jazz, of course, and you two got good reputations, maybe great reputations, because you both have been on national TV multiple times in your both in both your victorious careers, and as well you've got another great famous wrestler down the road in Houston as well, with his great school. So there's a lot of great opportunities in the state of Texas at the moment, isn't there? Would you say so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In Austin, Texas, we have Austin Rhodes, and in Houston, we have Booker T.
Yeah. So, yep. Who I was referring to. Yeah. But yeah, good old Booker T. But yeah, I mean, he's doing great with you as well, and all these great schools, all setting up in Texas. So there's something about Texas which is bringing out these best coaches.
I'm very fortunate as well to have one of my big brothers who's helped me out tremendously to live only a couple of blocks away, and that's Dale Wolf, Dusty Wolf. If anybody knows anything about wrestling, Dusty Wolf's a legend, and the man's is a walking encyclopedia. Not just with wrestling, but he's also a history teacher, and he's a teacher, and he loves helping out people. So from time to time, he stops by at the dojo and gives us a hand.
That's awesome. Now, he still has enough time to come down and to help yourselves out and his other communities out as well, which is great to see. Because I bet he's a very busy guy. When he's not teaching history, he's got his own life. He's got his own people he's got to care about, and then as well on top of all that, coming down to you guys and helping you guys out and showing that that you can make time for anybody.
Yes, right. Yes, sir. And that's one thing, we don't turn anybody away. It doesn't matter where you come from or what's going on in your life. We're here. I like to help. I like to teach people about life through wrestling. Wrestling is wrestling. Of course, it's our careers and we love it. But what's most importantly is life, and people living a good life, and just having someone there to lean on, or someone there that can help them out. Just it may be just a couple of words, or just not even speaking to them, just being an ear, just to let them. So yeah, we pride a lot on helping people in life.
Good, and it comes through, and that's one reason why when I got in contact with yourself, and that's why I thought, why not have Rodney Mack on the show, because he may be all menace and mean in the ring, but outside of the squared circle, he's one of the nicest, friendliest people you can meet, and hopefully that comes across to you today. But don't think though for 1 second that he's like it's all the time, because when that bell rings, he's a completely different person.
So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want
And
to know. Go on.
I take pride in that so much, from being trained by the legendary Junkyard Dog and Rugged Rod Price, the California stud. That's always been a stickler for them. When the bell rings, I mean, we keep it professional and and just live the part. Yeah. But once the bell rings again and it's over with, you got to put it on the side.
Yeah. Most definitely, you have to do that. And when I reached out to you, I never forget when I told you I was quite nervous to contact you, because you're quite you got an interesting reputation of this bad man. He will beat anybody up, any means necessary. So I was quite nervous reaching out to you at first, but once I did, it actually turned out he's not that bad. He's not as bad as I thought he was going to be.
Yes, though, you're good people.
But I want to know how you guys came up with the name Dog Pound, Wrestling. Where did you get that name from, and did it take you long to come up with it?
Well, the true story, not many people know this, but I was born and raised on a pit bull farm, 3rd generation. I come from a family. Just about every pit bull that's walking on the planet right now has a trace of the Boudreaux blood. Floyd Boudreaux was called a dog father of pit bulls, and he's about 88 years old now, and he and my father grew up together, and his father and my grandfather grew up together, and they were raised pit bulls, and they were working dogs at the time, So I grew up. I was born and raised, and this is the truth. On my way to school in the mornings, I would be. Let's rewind the tape. We had over 30 to 40 acres of land, and this is not a joke. Just about every area on our property was covered with pit bulls. At one time, we had about 10 to 15 female dogs that had pups. And they were all in the kennels. And before I go to school in the morning, this is no joke, I'd be in the kennel with the dogs, playing with the pups and whatnot. And boy, by the time I got to school, my teachers would give my mom a call and be like, "Hey, this kid, he smells like dog." My mother was like, "What?" I just, like every morning I got to get up and we scrub him down because they knew. But yeah, there wasn't a time for about 20 years of my life that we didn't have 100 to 150 pit bulls out on leashes, and about at least another 10 to 15 females with pups in kennels. So that dog thing is not a gimmick. It's not something I made up. It's real. As real as it gets. I'm pit bull born, pit bull bred, and I'll bleed pit bull blood till I'm pit bull dead.
That's good to see. That's good to see. But I mean, it's a good name, and it's been working for so long, and I hope it continues as well. Because you're saying as well that you're hoping to do more shows of your company in 2023. Any hints or any teasers you can give of what we can expect on the next show?
Well, as far as for our shows, we try to be, we're old school and we love storytelling, which is kind of a lost art now. We like to teach our kids to call it in the ring, and again, storytelling, putting people in holes, and just grasping the audience attention through the story. But as far as for shows coming up, we have about I don't have the dates with me now, but we have approximately 10 to 12 shows lined up, and I'm sure we're going to have another possibly 10 to 12 more shows coming. So we're looking at running about 2 shows a month starting in March.
Oh, that's good. That's good to see. And I'll keep my fingers and toes crossed that you guys get to do 2 or more shows a month from March onwards, and hopefully, this time next year you could have a show in December.
Right. Yes. We're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to again running more shows in the area, and just a matter of fact, what we're doing now is we're teaching our kids to run the shows. There's a couple of shows, and the past 6 shows that we had was actually ran by our students. So we teach them not just to wrestle in the ring, but we teach them the business as well.
Yeah, I bet it's quite fun as well. A different aspect of the way of how a match gets constructed, and telling what they should do, etc., to work out all the moves they're going to do with each other, as well as like the planned finish, etc., as well. So it's quite I bet it's quite interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is
for them, I guess.
Right, and and you can always tell the difference between. I mean, it's like night and day. You can tell a match that is totally choreographed as opposed to a match that's called in the ring. And sure, we understand the business is a work, but my kids, I only teach them, especially from practice on out. We just call the finish, and then we really don't call the finish. You tell them, okay, this guy's going over, and they go in there and ring the bell, and I just tell them, give me 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes. And figure it out.
Yeah, I bet it's quite difficult as well. They're not used to doing that as well, like getting into that habit of just calling it in the ring as well. Because which way do you prefer? Do you prefer to call it in the ring, or do you prefer it, to have like a script type thing? If that makes sense.
No, I don't like scripts at all, because you can't be yourself.
Got ya.
If some. And it doesn't matter if any promoter or anybody brings you a script, it's his idea.
Yeah.
It's him. So you can't necessarily be yourself. And I always take pride in. Well, I was an amateur wrestler my entire life. So I teach the guys how to wrestle, and it's just like boxing. If you teach someone how to box, 2 guys get in the ring and spar. They don't have to say, "Hey man, watch the jab. Here comes the right. Here comes." So if you can wrestle, I teach them to wrestle, and you can have a match with a broom. You can have a match with a visible man. If you know what you're doing, the guy is just there. You know what I mean?
I get that.
So you can wrestle around them, and I teach them to shoot. I teach them the real way, but I also teach them to work.
Yeah, no, you do, and it's showcasing, because as you said at the top of the show, it's giving talent opportunities, like with that one talent you mentioned, getting opportunities, hopefully be on AEW at some point as well, coming to England as well to be involved. So it's obviously paying off, because people are watching and seeing what your talents and your students can do, and it's giving them opportunities thanks to yourself and Jazz and anybody else who has any inputs into their development as well.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that. We teach everything from ring announcers to referees to managers. So any aspect that you're willing and wanting to learn, we teach it at Dog Pound Dojo.
There you go. So, and if people are interested, as you mentioned, of any of those roles, how can they get in contact with Dog Pound Wrestling?
We Instagram at RDog Rodney Mack, and Facebook. You can on Facebook at Rodney Bagno, but Dog Pound Dojo, .com, and it's it's real easy, and we, like I said, we accept everyone and anybody from all walks of life. Just you have to be willing to be disciplined and humble.
Yeah, no, I get that, and that's I guess the easiest bit from the person for you guys, because then if you are determined and show passion, and then you want and are really keen, you keep showing up, you're on time, willing to do anything, then it will impress you guys, the coaches, that this guy is really want to do it, and hopefully it will showcase in their development that this guy's got something special as well.
And you just said it all, man. It's any profession, being punctual, being on time, looking the part. That's more important than having the skill, because skills can be taught. You know, you can teach someone to a certain level. I mean, athleticism and athletic ability is one thing, but a skill can be learned and taught through repetition, and
Mm.
it may take one kid 6 months, it
Yeah.
may take another kid, 2 years,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's just all about how much time and effort that you put into it. And again, we teach psychology. This is the hardest thing, to know when and what to do, or to know what to do, when to do it.
Mm.
It's not what, it's when and how you do it.
No, I
So
get that. I
yeah,
get that. And it's just interesting hearing these great conversations by yourself, and it's great tips as well and great advice. And I want to talk to you about moving away from Texas. Of course, you're also involved in TSW as well. You're also involved, as I mentioned before, a show in Tennessee. How did you get yourself involved, in Tennessee? Because that is a great wrestling fan base. Kind of thing. If you know the history of wrestling in Tennessee, like yourself do, then you know how
yes.
important it is, isn't it, to get over in Tennessee? And those fans, love you or hate you, they will come out and they
And
they love
you
seeing you.
give them something to show. Yes, if they draw interest in you, they will support.
Yeah,
Louisiana, the places, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, down south, Tennessee, the fans still believe and still want to believe.
mm,
So yes, and then to answer your question about how do I get around it, I was always taught from, again, JYD and Rod Price, you got to get yourself out there, even if you're not booked and you know there's a show. Drive, if you can go up there, drive up there, show up with your gear, ready to work. 9 times out of 10, someone won't show up. Something happen. Things happen. Maybe the guy, family emergency or something happens where someone doesn't show up, and you're prepared. Always stay prepared. I tell my kids, don't get ready, stay ready.
yeah,
Don't sit there and say, well, I gotta get ready. No, stay ready.
yeah.
So whenever the opportunity is there, I jump on it. So yeah, you go out there, and there's times I've driven from Louisiana straight to Nebraska, back to Louisiana, straight to New York, and,
Oh
and,
wow.
and back. Yes, and that's true stories. All back to back to back. So yeah, and was never booked. But I guarantee you one thing: once I go there and the people see me,
Mm,
number one, see that my body, I'm in shape, and I must be hungry because I drove all the way up there without even calling or asking. So body like that on your team.
yeah, most
So yeah,
definitely.
so that's right. And so you stay ready, stay prepared, stay hungry, and stay humble.
Yeah,
And they're gonna happen to you. But I tell everyone it's a process, and you have to learn to enjoy the process. And it's a challenge. But after a while, once you get ready and stay ready, it's like you learn to accept a challenge, and then after accepting challenges, you learn to challenge the challenge.
mm,
I dare someone to come up with something that they feel I can't do. So I enjoy challenges. That's what makes you who you are.
yeah. No, I agree with that. Completely agree with that. And I think as well the talent in Tennessee, for instance, I don't know if they're scared of you, or feel a bit over what's the one I think of, because you've got that aura about you when you step into that kind of ring in Tennessee. It feels like your opponent and the referee feel a bit scared to get one over on you, and you always come with that chain of yours, and you've used it a few times in that particular place.
I don't
What's so
remember.
special about your chain in VCA?
Well, again, I was trained by JYD, and JYD was, my uncle. The Red Dog is the nephew of
Yeah.
the legendary Junkyard Dog. But again, that chain represents the dog.
Mm,
And there's a thing, the dog is off the chains,
yeah.
which means when the dog in our world, the pit bull world, when a dog was considered off the chain, that he was ready for anything off the chain, that means he was that good that he didn't have to get ready. You didn't have to put your dog in shape or in condition to go do this, whatever sport it was, whether it be hunting or, whatever various sports that they have. But that chain represents that, being off the chain means that you consider yourself just that damn bad.
Yes, you are that damn bad in the ring, and your opponents felt your chain, and even the referees in that company felt your chain as well. What is it about these people which you feel that they don't feel like they give you the respect you deserve down there?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with my aura and what I do in the ring is, I believe it's real.
Yeah,
I keep it. My mentality is real, and if you ever see me warm up before a match, I become that character. I'm not playing the Red Dog or Rodney Mack. I become that character, and it's real to me. Now, when I get in the ring, I don't back off or take the foot off the gas pedal. It's real to me. So my demeanor is real. When you look at me in my eyes, you can see. I mean, I'm not here to pretend to be a professional wrestler or pretend to be Rodney Mack. I become that character.
No, you do it perfectly well as well, I have to say, and that's why you get invited back down there many times, and get to go throughout the country still, and that's why the NWA wants to use you as well, which is great to see, on Fight TV or wherever the NWA showcase their pay-per-views. You're there, you're a part of the shows. Even when you're not on the show, you're probably helping people behind the scenes as well, which is great to see. Adding that knowledge to the next generation. You probably see stuff and you think, they could do this, they could do that a bit better, and you give it along. And I bet you the talent are thankful as well, because they're probably honored to share a locker room with you as well.
You're 100% correct, and I love and always have enjoyed just helping people, and yes, Jazz and I have a tremendous respect around the country. People really respect us, and I'm so thankful for that. That people look up to us that way. But yes, I love helping people, and again, it's the psychology, being able to sit there and tell them, you don't just do this, you do. That there's a build up to things you do. Yes, and then it's like what people call, spots or whatever. Well, how do you get to that spot, and then where do you go from that spot? It's just not doing, just not pressing the button and I do this and then this is next. There's exactly.
Yeah, you got to give a reason behind it, don't you? Of why you're doing the spot or whatever you want to do, or whatever you call it, and how you're going to get out of that into the next step to get closer to the finish.
That's right. It has to make. That's what the people want. They want, of course, they want to see a fight.
Yeah.
That's number one. You got to be physical. You're not going to get in the ring with me if you're not physical. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm going to be physical, and we're going to tell a story. But the people enjoy physicality. I mean, that's what people. That's why MMA is so big. People want fights. It goes back to the Roman days. People want to see violence, and what I could pro wrestling, my care is control violence.
Yeah, no, get that. Completely agree with you there. I can't not disagree, because I got nothing to come back with. So I want to agree with you. If we can move on as well, because I know in BCA you've attacked, again, as mentioned before, referees and other staff members. Have you ever been fined for that, by the way? Have the referees come up to you saying, I'm going to fine you, I'm going to get you suspended, I'm going to get you fired for attacking me?
I was suspended recently from VCA because Channel 3, I use profanity. But at the same time, the boss man allows me to be myself and is okay with that. So, yeah.
It's interesting you say the boss man allows you to be yourself, but then suspends you because
Well,
you do something
well,
which is a part of you, which is very interesting. And
well, VCA didn't suspend me.
Oh, okay.
Channel 3 suspended me from television.
Why? Okay, I got you.
And
Now.
it didn't get out of- Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you. Channel 3, get your act together. I bet their ratings have gone down on that show because you're not on it at the moment. So I can't wait for when you can return to Channel 3 and the ratings will be through the roof and they will be regretting never suspending you.
Well, you know what? That's happened before, and you just hit the nail on the head. I've been suspended from VCA a couple of times because of Channel 3 and because of too much violence, using weapons when I, whatnot or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I was gone for 3 to 6 months, and when I come back, the fans go crazy. Yeah,
Exactly right. Yeah, because they want to see Rodney Mack, kick someone's ass. And I love when you do that, and you give them a good old beating, win or lose.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, so I can't wait to see when you return, whenever that may be.
But sometimes, no, I'm not out of control. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, I never said you never did. I was just saying about that. Hopefully, it's not too far down the line before we'll see you return back to VCA.
yes, matter of fact, in February, I think the first weekend of February, I will be back.
Nice. Can't wait for that, and I'm sure the VCA fans are looking forward to seeing your return to Channel 3, and hopefully you get to see him a bit often than hopefully there's one episode, because we don't get you suspended again.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I will, but I don't know how.
Funny. Let's move focus now. Of course, you were, a former WWE wrestler in the Ruthless Aggression era. I must mention. Hope you like that. They call aggression. What are some of your favorite memories? And I must have to say as well, you are in one of the best games ever made for WWE. Of course, Here Comes the Pain. You got to be involved with that fantastic roster, by the way. So,
Yes.
you made a great impact at the right time to be in that one of the best ever games made ever. Did you enjoy as well being in Here Comes the Pain?
Oh yes, I did. You know what? I haven't played that game, and I've only seen myself once on it. So, but the era that when I'm so blessed, and I say it all the time, to be one of those guys that made it to walk down that aisle in that era, in that time, because it was so much talent that the WWE at the time had, WWF, WWE had at the time, because they were combining 3 companies together. There was stars already made from WCW. There were superstars already made from ECW. And, there were hundreds of guys literally on the roster. And to be able to walk down that aisle and be one of the main guys on the roster for the WWF, WWE was a tremendous accomplishment, I'd like to say, because, there was so much talent that did not get that opportunity, that got cut, waived. And I hold that very dear to my heart to say that I not only walked down that aisle, but I made a statement, and I made people remember who I was.
Absolutely, you did. Every time you came out, you showed dominance. You showed why people should care about Rodney Mack, and you made sure they did. And it was, it was quite sad that, we're not seeing you back there. But maybe one day, never say never, you may get to go back. Even if you get into the Hall of Fame for for yourself, or even for Jazz, we'll see you back on WWE TV, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I would. I'm not like you say never, but I just want to say one thing about being with the NWA. I've never been happier.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yes, and Billy Corgan is one of the greatest bosses I've ever worked for. I love the aura. I love the atmosphere. I love the product of the NWA. And I plan on being there and dominating that son of a bitch for a long time.
Absolutely, and as well, I must say about the NWA as well, because it feels like like the old 80s tapings. I feel like very close connection with family. You know, I just like the small tapings. You know, the small house tapings when they call it. It reminds me of the 80s and 90s tapers. You know, before. Before you went all these big, massive stadiums, these massive arenas, you know, I like it how it's very niche.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Who doesn't like wrestling in front of 98,000 people, 100,000 people? Sure, but when you wrestle like in the NWA's that atmosphere, it's more homey. It's more reminds me of where I come from. It reminds me of why I joined this business
exactly.
and became a professional wrestler. Yes, and at the same time, I'm getting it a chance, which I've always been around the guys like Ricky Martin, and the older guys that's around there, being around Medusa. You know, we still learn from each other. Austin Idol. You know, there's just a couple of the guys that were named. What is it? The guy from the Fantastics, Fulton.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always Dr. Tom Pritchard, who's like one of my. I don't know to call him a big brother or more like a father figure. He's helped me from day one in OVW. With Bill Bearings, got those guys they've all been around, you know, very long time in the business, and I still sit there and I'm a student of the game. I sit there and listen to them and pick their brains, and you know, so it's just great being around that atmosphere, man. And the fans, you know, we get to I feel like we have more interaction with the fans, you know, during, before, and after the matches.
Yeah, and that's what I mean as well. This is way more, you know, closer, and you're able to give more times to the fans, because without the fans, there would not be an NWA, and there would not be a Rodney Mack. So it's great, you know, that you're able to engage with the fan base a bit more than you could if you were performing in front of, you say, 98,000 people. There's a bit too many people to interact with, isn't there? But on the scale of how they do their production and everything like that, it's much more engaging, and it brings you that you're part of the show when you're sat at home watching as well.
Yes, sir.
So all kudos to the NWA, and hopefully they will have a fantastic 2023 as well. I want to know, though, that you mentioned about different states. Have you got a particular state you enjoy working in apart from Texas?
And this is a God's honest truth. I don't. I enjoy working everywhere, and it doesn't matter how big the show is, how small the show is. I tell everyone it's every show is a WrestleMania to me. So it doesn't matter if there's 20 people in the crowd or there's 3,000 or 20,000. I bring the same energy with me in the ring. Even
if you can't understand what the fans are saying at all, you will still enjoy being involved. Even if they were chanting, you know, you suck, or let's go, Rodney, and you know, you couldn't really hear what they were saying, you still like it. That's good to know. That's good to see.
Yes, you know, I feel that we professional wrestlers speak a universal language, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's English or in Japan. You feel the energy that crowd. So, you know, they're talking, and when you're having a match, that's why we're taught to call it in the ring. You feel the energy of the people. So therefore, it doesn't matter if they're speaking French or I wrestled in Africa and had one of my greatest moments was in Durban, Africa. And, you know, so, the language they speak is not really as, what I look for is the energy that you feel from the crowd.
Yeah, no.
And that, so it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Is there any states or any countries you've not had the chance to perform in, which you would love the opportunity to bring your craft to?
Well, of course, you know, there's quite a few countries that I've never had the opportunity to wrestle, but I'd like to wrestle. Like I said, I'd like to wrestle every and anywhere, every piece of green grass on the planet Earth. I'd love to be there and have an opportunity to wrestle there. Hawaii, I've never had an opportunity there. China, places like that, different places. So yeah, just anywhere that I haven't been, I'm looking forward to coming there.
What about England? You mentioned England
Yeah,
there.
but I've been there a few times, and of
Yes.
course, love. Yes, Matt. And I'm not saying honestly, the fans are great.
Yes.
The fans,
Yes, they are.
yes,
Yes, they are. You know the fans very well. We're very passionate fans, as you know, and we will tell you how it is.
yes. A place that just came to mind is Nottingham.
Oh, there you go, Nottingham. Yeah, there you go. Um,
Love it.
but I mean, when you've been over here many times, I'm sure you had time to site visit, I guess, as well, and taking some of the culture as well. We've had on, of course, as you know, Al Snow, Eric Bischoff on this show, and two different versions. Eric Bischoff went to a bar, a pub, to get in the culture. Al Snow did a bit of sightseeing. Terry Reynolds did some shopping. What did you do when you had chance to?
Well, I'm kind of a boring guy when it comes to that. I enjoyed the sightseeing
Yeah,
from to and from my destination,
yeah.
but Jazz and I never was one to go out and see things. I always stayed in my room and prepared myself as much as I can
Fair enough.
to perform my abilities. That's
Fair
so
enough.
I'm boring when it comes to that, and I do wish that I'd have took that opportunity to go out and see more things. But yeah, I was the guy that when we got off the plane and got in the rental car, either we went straight to the hotel or I went straight to the gym or got something to eat, and I went straight to the room and prepared myself for the event.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own different, their own little things they want to do. Some people like to go out and explore the area they're going to visit, while others prepare for matches. So I can totally get that, and it makes you better prepared, for your opponent. While your opponent might be too busy taking pictures, sightseeing, drinking, eating, and
Right.
time preparing for the opponent. So that makes sense. Everybody's different, and at least you've still got time to see, the lovely view when you landed in and when you were taking off as well. So it's great to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We must mention as well, we have been showing your social media on and off the screen, and you can add in any social media I may have forgotten to add. So you can find my guest, Rodney Mack, on Twitter at rdog_Rodney_Mack, and also the same on Instagram as well. What a great, unique social media names you go by as well. Great followers as well on both platforms. Help him to increase them as well to make Rodney Mack verified on both platforms, because you should be verified. You're a verified person. You're a celebrity.
Thank you, sir. And I want to say thank you to all the fans out there that's been following Jazz and myself for all these years. Just continue to follow. And I appreciate every bit of attention you've ever given us, and I'm just getting started.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Never.
I got a lot of more.
Good. My second to last question to you, okay, is to do with your fantastic relationship with Jazz and how you guys are preparing to celebrate Christmas at the Dog House. How do you guys celebrate Christmas?
But we're a very tight family with myself, Jazz, and her twins, Summer and Sky. So we're gonna try to spend as much time as we can together, and we do that quite a bit. We're very family oriented. We're a very close knit, tight family. So we're gonna try to spend as much time as we possibly can together with the girls and enjoy that time. Because when we get on a roll, a lot of times we're on the roll, and you miss. Every day that you miss, man, you regret. Being with your kids. So we try to spend as much homely time as we possibly can.
That's nice. And I hope you guys have a great Christmas and a happy New Year from myself to you. I also wanted to know as well. I'm guessing when we discussed this yesterday, of you coming on the show, did you consult Jazz?
So yes, I did, and she wanted me to. I'm glad you said that, but she wanted me to tell you, thank you for the follow, and she's looking forward to maybe coming on your show as well.
Well, yeah. Well, you can respond back by saying that that the floor is hers. She can come on the show. It'd be a pleasure as well to welcome her on the show.
Yes, sir.
Just tell her to reach out. She knows how to do so. So if she wants to come on, we can make it happen.
You got it, my man. You got it.
Good. Yeah, first, ladies and gents, we could be getting the legendary Jazz alongside the legend himself, Rodney Mack, having a part of this show. And I also as well, I do hope you'll come back on the show, Rodney. This isn't like a one-time thing where we have you on and then I never speak to you ever again. I would like you on the show again.
No, man. I'd love to come back on the show, and and just being honest, you and I have kind of became pretty close friends over the past few weeks, and I enjoy our relationship. I enjoy talking to you, and yes, man, I'd love to come back on the show.
Good, and I thank you for allowing me to become close friend with you, and I hope that continues to grow for months and years to come as well. And my final question to you. This is a tough one. Who would you suggest for me to contact next to come on this show after yourself? Of course, Jazz. Obviously, just me to mention that. But who else would you suggest to come on this show?
Well, man, holla.
Oh, really? Okay, you want Mr. Teddy Long to come on here? Well, that'd be great. I'll tell you a funny story about that. Actually, when he had a website, I did reach out to him on his website, on his contact details, but I never heard nothing back. But then his website then expired, so I'm guessing you never got the email, I guess. So, but he would be a great guest to have on.
Yes. I know for a fact that he'd love to come on the show, and Teddy's a great person, great person. Yes, he'd love to come on the show and share some of his experiences.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you can help me to bring him on the show, I'll be in your endeavors.
You got it, man. We speak to Teddy Long frequently, yes, about twice a week.
Oh, that's good. Right, at least I know now that I won't get copyright from my earlier remarks about Mr. Holla Holla. Holla Holla player.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure, Rodney, and I hope as well maybe we can have yourself on with your lovely wife, and maybe even Mr. Holla Holla himself in the future as well.
Oh, well, you're definitely. I guarantee you.
That'd be quite a fun episode, I think, having you three together.
Yes.
But of course, where are you today, by the way? People still come out and see you tonight, or is the tickets sell out?
No, there's still, you get tickets at the door at the Woodlawn Gym here in San Antonio, Texas. As a matter of fact, Shane Taylor and I are we're going to get down, and it's going to be a dogfight tonight. So Shane Taylor, the guy, he's been on TNA, Ring of Honor champion, and I think he's been with AEW for a while. So he's been around. He's a well-known guy, and he's a pretty tough competitor. So I hope for some kind of way he gets this memo. It's gonna be a dog fight tonight.
You hear it here first, ladies and gents. Rodney Mack on the show. I wish you the best of luck for your match against Shane Taylor tonight. And I believe if it's the same Shane Taylor I'm thinking about, I've actually had him on the show in 2019 when he was the Ring of Honor TV champion at one point. That's the guy. That's the guy
that I will be putting the wood to tonight. So you guys enjoy a dog fight, baby.
Oh, it's on. Look forward to that. Well, I hope you have a good time tonight. I hope you get the win. Please do tell Shane Taylor that I say hi and that it's been 3 years since he came on the show.
Yeah.
See.
Well, I'll make sure I let somebody else tell him maybe about 2 or 3 days from now. Okay. But tonight, all you hear from me is some growling and some barking.
Fair enough. And on that note, We want to say thank you to Rodney and Mack, and thank you for everyone who's tuning in. If you watch this live or on demand, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the episode. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to share the video around. Tell more about Rodney Mack. Hopefully you learned something new, hopefully. Because again, I don't watch any other interviews with Rodney Mack or anything about anything else. I try to keep it fresh and different. So hopefully it was. If you did, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know any future questions you have for Rodney Mack, or even for Jazz, or even Holla Holla Player Teddy Long himself here on this show. Because as you said, Rodney Mack is going to help make them happen. So I will hold Rodney Mack to that and see if he can come true. I'm sure he will. He seems like a pleasant guy. I don't really got no wrong to have Rodney Mack. Don't want him flying him over to Manchester and knocking me out. So I will be making sure he does that for us. And if you're new around here and like the content, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We've got over 195 subscribers. Only 5 to go before 200. So hopefully you can help me to get to 200 before the end of the year, because that would be a great way to enter 2023 with 200 subscribers. But for more of us, so enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon or evening. And until next episode drops, bye for now.